Hello and welcome again. If you've been following the posts and their progression, you'll remember that my last posting I explained the three definitive characteristics of our disease. And it's a primary disease that is chronic, progressive, and fatal. Well, we're not responsible for having the disease. We are, however, faced with a dilemma when we finally accept that we do have the disease of addiction. Do we attempt to recover, or do we continue to roll the dice, hoping that we'll in some way be able to control our use? Now, if we choose to do that, there's only one of three places we're going to end up: jail, institution, or premature death. The New York Times did a study of the penal system in the United States, and fully 80% of all those that they interviewed attributed them being in prison to their use of drugs and alcohol. Violent offenders, a large majority when interviewed, said that they were under the influence when they committed the crimes that they were charged with. And those that committed property crimes, a large majority said that they did it in order to support their habits so they could get the drug of choice. And due to mandatory minimums, the jails in the United States are full of people who are charged with simple possession, trafficking, or DUI. In the early to mid 1900s, doctors had one form or one tool that they could use to deal with alcoholics. That was a mental institution. All they could do was put the alcoholic into a mental institution and dry them out. That was it. Drugs weren't really prevalent then, but nowadays, drugs like cocaine, methamphetamine, PCP, they can cause psychotic breaks and permanent damage to the brain. Alcoholics can suffer from a disease known as, or a condition known as Korsakoff syndrome, wet brain. They be committed to a mental institution for life. And finally, there's premature death. Alcoholics and addicts both risk dying at a much younger age than they would have if they didn't drink or use. An addict risks dying from overdose or getting a toxic substance in the place of the drugs that they were seeking. Alcoholics risk getting to the point where they'll drink Lysol or rubbing alcohol or some other chemical composition that has alcohol in it just to get high. The damage that they do to their bodies is irreparable. Every day in the news we hear about horrible accidents, deaths, where alcohol or drugs were involved. And drugs, there's always the risk of, getting robbed, getting shot. These are all things that can happen as a result of our involvement with drugs and alcohol. I talked to an undertaker once, and he gave me an interesting little anecdote. The average body after death, one that has died from non-alcoholic or non-drug related circumstances, when it's cremated, takes between 2 and 4 hours. Someone that's died from chronic alcoholism, cirrhosis of the liver, or another associated disease, they're so emaciated by the time that they die The cremation process takes 45 minutes. It kind of gives you an idea of what that does to our bodies. In the next segment, what I'm going to attempt to address is the steps that need be taken if we decide that we're going to recover, that we're going to rejoin the human race, and that we're going to try and be productive, happy, healthy human beings. I truly wish you to know that it is my deep desire that what is presented here, that the effort that me and my lovely wife are putting into putting this blog up will help at least one person. Because even if it only reaches and helps one person, it'll be worth all the effort we put in. So until my next attempt at trying not to be nervous in front of this camera, I wish for you to walk hand in hand with your higher power and stay safe. Thank you.